Elara Vahn was the quiet genius at Aura Architects, known for designing the complex, functional skeleton that made massive buildings sustainable. Her specialty was creating infrastructure that saved millions and guaranteed projects were carbon neutral. Despite her brilliance, her ideas were always filtered through someone else's louder voice, leaving her perpetually in the shadow. The firm's biggest project was the Metropolis Central Library, and Elara had spent 3 dedicated months creating its foundational concept, a revolutionary self-cooling facade system using passive thermodynamics. It was her irreplaceable proof of concept. Then Leo arrived. Leo was the new lead project presentation specialist, charismatic, impeccably dressed, and adept at buzzwords. He quickly took ownership of Elara's work. "Brilliant work, Elara. Leave the dry engineering to me. I'll sell the vision," Leo would boom. Elara, conditioned by years of silence, merely nodded. Soon, Leo's polished presentation slides increasingly featured his name. Her complex cooling system was simplified to a single bullet point labeled Leo Vance, Lead Designer, Sustainable Facade Integration. When partners questioned the technology, Leo monopolized the answers, speaking only in vague, confident jargon. It's about synergy. We are synergizing the vertical flow with the ambient air pressure, creating a closed-loop system that is both aesthetically pleasing and fiscally responsible. The partners loved his narrative, seeing Leo as the face of innovation, while Elara became the silent technician. "Don't let others replace you," her inner voice screamed, struggling against the rising tide of self-doubt. The day before the final pitch to the city council, Elara found Leo rehearsing. The screen displayed the final slide, Metropolis Library, a vision by Leo Vance. "Leo," she said, her voice shaking slightly, "my cooling system is the defining feature. I need a citation." Leo sighed dramatically, offering a dismissive smile. "Elara, darling, we are a team. The council doesn't need the name of the woman who did the math. They need to trust the narrative. I own the narrative. Don't worry, you'll get your bonus." That night, Elara realized her worth wasn't tied to a bonus or a title. It was tied to the irreplaceable value of genuine ethical engineering. Her handwritten journal, containing her initial goal to create an intelligently designed building, reminded her that Leo could parrot the vision, but he couldn't replicate the knowledge. She knew her worth. She had to stand up for it. The next day, Leo delivered his pitch perfectly, reaching the environmental section. And of course, thanks to our cutting-edge sustainable facade, which I personally integrated, the building operates with an 80% energy surplus, a true game changer. Councilwoman Thorne, a sharp-eyed engineer, interjected with a challenging question. "Mr. Vance, in the event of a sudden sustained 5°C ambient temperature spike, the passive system relies on an optimal pressure differential of 1.2 pascals. What is your mechanical contingency to maintain that differential without activating the backup generators?" Leo froze. His jargon failed him, producing only stammering and vague promises of integrated systems. This was Elara's moment. She stepped forward, her heart hammering with the confidence of absolute knowledge. "Councilwoman Thorne, if I may," Elara said, her voice clear and cutting through Leo's uncertainty. "The differential is maintained by 4 microvalve vents located at the sub-base, tied to a localized atmospheric sensor. The system doesn't activate the main generators. It activates the dormant auxiliary solar vents on the roofline, which create a momentary downward draft, increasing internal pressure to 1.35 pascals for the required stabilization period. This is an entirely separate closed-loop system, designed to ensure zero reliance on fossil fuel backups." She met the councilwoman's gaze. "I am Elara Vahn, and I designed the foundational architecture and all integrated environmental systems for this project. The contingency plan is detailed on page 247 of the structural report." A stunned silence fell. Councilwoman Thorne immediately addressed Elara. "That is the answer we needed, Ms. Vahn. Thank you for clarifying your contribution." The senior partner, realizing the depth of Elara's expertise, pulled her aside later. The council was impressed. They want the truth. "From now on, you lead the technical design division. And I think a vision by Elara Vahn sounds much better." Elara smiled. She had asserted her irreplaceable worth through competence and integrity, and in doing so, had made herself essential.